Okay, yesterday we have seen the left factoring and left recursion. In the previous class, we have solved them. Some people has solved the given homework problems also. They send the homework problems also. And in the evening, I have given material up to that concept. Okay, the solution for the homework problems are also available in that material. I think all of you have seen that material. Is it okay? The screen okay, Nandi? Screen visible on the number. Now, okay, today we have to see. Now we are going to the actual parsing techniques. Okay, before parsing techniques, we have seen the concepts of left factoring and left recursion. Why? Because they create problems at the time of parsing. So we already learned how to eliminate the left factoring, how to eliminate the left recursion. If they present, what to do? Already we know. So at the time of using the parsing techniques, we have no problem at all. If they came, we will happily solve them. Now we are entering into our actual classification of parsing techniques. See this one. When we come to the classification parsing technique, the parsers are two types: top-down parser, bottom-up parser. The parsers are classified into two categories: top-down and bottom-up. Yeah, again, when we come to the top-down, it is two types: backtracking, predictive parsers. Okay, predictive is again two types: recursive descendant parser, non-recursive descendant parser. Okay, this is we will learn about the top-down parser in our second unit. Then in the third unit, we have to learn about the bottom-up parser. That means again bottom-up parser is operator precedence parser, shift reduce parser, LR parsers are there. SLR parser, LALR, CLR. We learn about this bottom-up parser in the next unit. In this unit, we have to go up the top-down parsers, that is backtracking and predictive parser. So already we know what is a parser. Okay, a parser will take the sequence of tokens and it will verify whether the sequence of tokens is as per the syntax of the programming language or not. It will take a sequence of tokens and it will verify whether they are as per the syntax of the programming language or not. And when we come to this parser, already we know two issues are there. There are two issues in case of parser. The first issue is specification of syntax. How to specify the syntax? Syntax చెక్ చేసుకోవాలంటే మనం ఆల్రెడీ ముందు దానికి సింటాక్సెస్ ఇచ్చి ఉండాలి. How to provide the syntaxes? That is the first issue. Okay, for that first issue, how to provide the syntaxes means we have the following techniques are there. All these techniques are used for specification of syntaxes. Okay, for example, if you are writing a parser for C language, for the C language, we have a lot of syntaxes are there. All those syntaxes must be given to the parser in advance. Then only whenever a sequence of tokens came, it will compare those sequence of tokens with the syntaxes. If they are matching to syntaxes, it will accept that one. Otherwise, it will reject that one. So first, the parser must know the syntaxes of all your language syntaxes. How to provide those syntaxes, that is one issue. Okay, the solution for that issue is either you have to go for top-down parser or you have to go for bottom-up parser. Clear? When we come to the top-down parser, what is this top-down approaches means? Okay, the simple thing. Already we know the derivation and parse trees. Okay, in that if the what is a top-down parser means? Okay, if we start the derivation from root node and end with the leaf nodes, it is called the top-down parsing. Okay, if you start the parse tree with root node and you end the parse tree construction with leaf nodes, it is called the top-down parsing. Root nodes start చేసి leaf nodes తో complete చేస్తే parse tree construction. That type of parsing is called the top-down parser. Already we know what is this root node means. The root node is always start symbol. That means while you are deriving the input string or while you are constructing parse tree for the input string, if you start with root node and if you end with leaf nodes, then that type of parsing is called top-down parsing. Reverse of this one is the bottom-up parsing. You start with leaf nodes and you go back to the root node. That type of parsing is called the bottom-up parser. Clear? Top-down parser is starting with root node and reaching the leaf nodes. Root node starts leaf nodes, so we call it as the top-down parser. If you start with leaf nodes and if you go back to the root node, it is called the bottom up parser. Clear? That is the two types of parsing. Top down means simple. We start with root node, we came to the leaf nodes. That means we start with start symbol and we end with terminals. In case of bottom up parser reverse, we start with leaf nodes, that means terminals, and we end with start symbol, that is root node. That type of parsing is called the bottom up parser. When we come to this top down parser, two more again it is two types, backtracking and predictive parser. Predictive parser is again two types, recursive descendant parser, non-recursive descendant parser. Otherwise it is also called as LL1 parser. The other name for this non-recursive descendant parser is LL1 parser. Now we have to see about these things. Already we have seen the types of top-down parser, backtracking, predictive parsers. What is this concept of backtracking? మనం చాలా సార్లు బ్యాక్ ట్రాకింగ్ వినే ఉంటామండి డేటా స్ట్రక్చర్స్ లో వేరియస్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్స్ లో వి హావ్ హార్డ్ అబౌట్ ద బ్యాక్ ట్రాకింగ్. ఇక్కడ కూడా సేమ్ సిమిలర్ కాన్సెప్ట్, అదే కాన్సెప్ట్ అండి. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ బ్యాక్ ట్రాకింగ్? See, for a non-terminal, sometimes in the grammar, for a non-terminal, there may be two or more production rules. For a given non-terminal, sometimes there may be two or more production rules will be there. So when we want to replace a non-terminal with some production rule, okay, first we take the first production rule. If it is not working, we go back and we take the second production rule. If it is not working, we go back and we take the third production rule. Backtracking, we start with the first production rule. If it is not working, simply we go back, backtracking, we go back and we take the second production rule. If it is also not working, we go back and we take the production rule. Like that, sometimes the production non-terminals will have many alternatives. There may be more than one alternative for a given non-terminal. In such a case, whenever we want to replace the non-terminal at the time of derivation, for example, start symbol E తీసుకున్నాం, we have to replace E with something. E కి రెండు ప్రొడక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి, E plus E into E. Two are there. Either we can take E plus E or E into E. What is this backtracking will do is, first E plus E is there, so it will take E plus E. E implies E plus E. If it is not working, after some time, if you identified plus is not required, we go back, we take the second production. E implies E into E. That is the simple one. In simple lines, what is the backtracking means? Every time we take a production, we take a production rule. If it is not working, we go back and we take the alternative one. That is in one line backtracking concept. Is it clear simply what is this backtracking means? That is a small thing. Clear? See, top-down parsers start from the root node, that is start symbol, and match the input string against the production rules to replace them. ఏదైనా production rule match అయితే దాన్ని replace చేసుకుంటూ వస్తూ ఉంటుంది. See, simply in one line, we are taking an example to understand the backtracking. మనకి ఇచ్చిన గ్రామర్ చూడండి, S implies R X D, X is a non-terminal, R Z D, Z is a non-terminal, capital కాబట్టి. X has again two productions are there. S కి two rules ఉన్నాయి. Y also have two productions, OA, EA. Z is equal to A, only one production is there. This is the given grammar. ఇక్కడ S కి ఎన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి? Two options are there. For X, how many options are there? Two more options are there. For Z, only one option. Now, see, for the input string read, my aim is I want to read the input string read. My input string itself is read, READ. I want this input string from the top-down parser. దీంట్లో top-down parser ద్వారా I want to read the read. ఆ ఇన్పుట్ స్ట్రింగ్ నేను గెట్ చేసి I want to get that read సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుందని చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి. సో ఫస్ట్ మన స్టార్ట్ సింబల్ ఎవరు ఇక్కడ? S is the start symbol, but S కి ఎన్ని ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయి? Two options are there. So what is this backtracking will do is, what is the first production rule? RXD. X implies RXD. So see, first we are taking start symbol S. First option is X implies RXD. Clear? Non-terminal X is there. Next, after taking RXD, what is your input string read? Your input string is read. R is matching with this R. Left to right, R match అవుతుంది. Read, R is matching. So it is okay. R match అయింది కాబట్టి దీన్ని తీసుకున్నాము. Next, మళ్ళీ X, how many options are there for X? Two options are there, 0A, EA. First option is 0A, sorry, OA. So For now I am expanding x with OA. Okay, after expanding x with first alternative OA, what is the input string now? ROAD. The input string will become ROAD. But we want READ, not ROAD. So for the alternative of the X is not working. The production rule taken for X is not suitable. So we have to go back to X, and we want to take alternative. What is the alternative for this one? EA is there. Okay, after OA, if it is not working, we have EA is there. So since it is not working, we are going back and we are trying to take another one. It is not working, so we are moving back. See, we are backtracking, we are moving back. Okay, from this one we are moving back, we are moving back, and we are taking alternative of this one. What is the alternative production rule for X? One more production rule is there, that is X implies EA. We have the alternative production rule we have here is the X implies EA. So we have taken that alternative production rule. EA. Now if you observe R, E, if you observe R, E, A, D, it is working happily. Clear what we have done. This is the concept of backtracking. What is this backtracking will do is, the process of backtracking will be like this. Whenever a grammar is given like this and the input string is given, it from the start symbol, it will take the first production rule. If it is not working, it will go back, it will take the second production rule, like that. Okay, X implies way. See, X implies first production rule it has taken. Since the first after production rule, it is replacing X with the first alternative of the X, that is OS. Since it is not working, it is backtracking, it is moving back. Again, it is taking the second alternative, that is READ. This is briefly the concept of backtracking. Is it clear, guys? What is this backtracking? Roughly, is it clear? That means nothing but the backtracking technique. What it will do is, every time it will take one production rule, it will try to find, okay, the input string. If the input string is not found, it will go back, it will take second alternative, it will try to find the input string. Like that, it will try for all the alternatives, okay, one by one, until it gets the input string. It will try to read all possible production rules serially. It will take one production rule at a time, it will verify that production rule not working, second production rule not working, third production rule, like that it will go on. That is the briefly about the first technique, that is the backtracking. Is it okay, guys? Backtracking. Backtracking okay అండి. Roughly some rough idea. Did you got some rough idea in about backtracking? What are the limitations in this backtracking? We have other methods are there in the top down parser. Along with backtracking, predictive parser is there. So why we are going from backtracking to predictive parser? That means, see, when we come to the drawbacks of this backtracking, okay, it can't tolerate left recursion. If the grammar contains left recursion, your backtracking cannot handle that one. Okay, your backtracking may enter into the infinite loop if the grammar contains left recursion. That is the one problem with backtracking is, it cannot handle the left recursion. If left recursion present, there is a chance that the technique may enter into the infinite loop. That is one problem with backtracking. Next, okay, because of this backtracking sometimes, okay, the major problem in the backtracking is which involves undoing of semantic effect. That means removing entries from the symbol table. Because of this backtracking, sometimes some entries in the symbol table may be missed. What is the symbol table contains? We know the symbol table contains the information about the identifiers we are using in the program. Okay, the identifiers and keywords information will be stored in the symbol table. What is this concept of backtracking means? We are undoing the current step. We are going back to the previous step. By undoing the current step, we are going back to the previous step. Okay. Because of this backtracking, since we are undoing the current steps and we are going back to the previous step, sometimes you have to go to 2 more steps back, 3 steps back, like that. You have to go to some steps back. Okay. At that situation, there is a chance that some entries in the symbol table miss. There is a chance of removing of entries. Okay, entries in the symbol table. Whatever the entities that are entered into the symbol table, they may be removed. Why? Because sometimes we go 1 step back. Sometimes we have to go back to 2 steps back. Sometimes we have to go back to 3 steps back. Like that, we have to move some steps back. While doing that undoing, sometimes we miss. There is a chance that the entries which are entered into the symbol table may be removed. That is the second drawback of this backtracking. Okay. Next one is the order in which alternatives are tried can affect the language accepted. The order in which the alternatives are tried can affect the language accepted. Okay, in which order it is selecting the production rules may also affect the language accepted. Clear. These are the some limitations of the backtracking. That's why the parsing technique is more okay. Most of the compilers will not prefer backtracking. Okay, no compiler. Most of the compilers in the plural are not preferring the backtracking. Why? Because it is a time taking one. Every time we have to undo the steps. Clear. There is a chance of it may be entered into the infinite loop. There is a chance that entries in the symbol table may be missed. Okay, sometimes it will affect the language accepted. Okay, most of the languages compilers are not accepting this backtracking, and they are using the alternative for the backtracking, that is predictive parsers. Now, with this, because of these drawbacks of the backtracking, we are happily moving to the alternative of backtracking, that is called the predictive parsers. Is it clear, guys? Backtracking, roughly, what is this backtracking? Is it clear? Now, when we come to the predictive parser, what is the meaning of the predictive? Prediction means what is meant by the meaning of the prediction? Future prediction at all. Future prediction means we are guessing the future. Prediction means generally nothing but simply in our language guessing. Here also not, we don't do everything. Okay, exactly మనకి ఏం తెలియదండి which production we have to take. We don't know in advance. Only we will make the some predictions. Clear. The predictive parser main theme is the guessing only here also. Okay. When we come to the predictive parser, again it is 2 types: recursive descendant parser, LL1 parser. There are 2 parsers are there in the predictive. Again, it is recursive descendant. Predictive is divided into 2 types: recursive descendant parser, LL1 parser. These are the 2 techniques available. Okay. First one is very simple one. Very simple one. Next one is somewhat simple, but not that much simple when we compare with the first one. So first we will see the recursive descendant parser, then we will go for the LL1 parser. See, I don't know theory based on kangar padadandi. The simple logic of recursive descendant parser is whenever what we do in the recursive descendant parser is whenever a grammar is given, for every non-terminal we write a recursive functions. Okay. For every non-terminal in the given grammar, simply మనకు వాడు ఏం చెప్పాడు అనవసరం. Simple గా what is happening in the recursive descendant parser is for every non-terminal we write a recursive procedure. What is a recursive function or recursive procedure? A function that may call itself is called a recursive function. Clear. A function that may call itself is called a recursive function. For every non-terminal in the grammar, we construct a recursive function. Clear. A predictive parsing technique. A predictive parser is a collection of recursive procedures. Okay. For every non-terminal in the given grammar, we write a recursive procedure. Clear. And by using those recursive procedures, we try to parse the given input string. Using those recursive procedures, we will try to get the given input string. That is briefly in one line. What is the recursive dissonant parser means in one line? For every non-terminal in the given grammar, we will write a separate procedure. Okay, those procedures are called recursive procedures. Why? Because sometimes they may call themselves. The procedure may call themselves. That's why they are called as the recursive procedures. Clear? We will see briefly what we will do in that one. See, what is the... Okay, sorry. See, what is the second point? In this type of parser, context-free grammar is used to build the recursive procedures. By using the context-free grammar, we build the recursive procedures that we will see later how we are constructing the recursive procedure. Okay, the RHS of every production rule. In every production rule, the RHS is directly converted into the programming statement. Clear? In the RHS, every production rule in the RHS of every production rule is directly converted into the programming rule or programming statement. It will be directly converted into the programming statement. Okay. For each non-terminal, separate procedure will be written. For every non-terminal, separate procedure will be written. We will see that one completely, what we will do. Okay. What is the procedure for constructing of recursive dissonant parser? The steps for recursive dissonant parser is like this. Step one. What is the step one? Construction steps for construction of the recursive dissonant parser. See the step one. If the input symbol is non-terminal, then a call to the procedure corresponding to that non-terminal symbol. Whenever the input symbol is non-terminal, we make a call to the procedure corresponding to the non-terminal. Already we told in the recursive dissonant parser, for every non-terminal, separate procedure will be written. So while scanning the input symbol, whenever non-terminal is scanned, it will pass a call, send a call, it will make a call to the procedure corresponding to the non-terminal. Clear? If the input symbol is terminal, it is matched with the locate symbol from the input. మన రెండు ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో క్లీన్గా అర్థం అవుతుంది. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూస్తే వీ విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ మోర్ క్లియర్లీ. ఇదేంటంటే జస్ట్ స్టేట్మెంట్స్ చదువుతున్నాను. నో నీడ్ టు కన్ఫ్యూజ్. If the input symbol is non-terminal, then we make a call to the procedure corresponding to the non-terminal symbol. If the input symbol is terminal, then it is matched with the locate symbol from the input. Input symbol terminal అయితేనేమో it will be matched with the given input string. If the input symbol is non-terminal, a call to its corresponding method will be called. Clear? If the production rule have many alternatives, then okay, all alternatives must be specified in a single procedure. Sometimes for a non-terminal, more production rules will be there, more alternatives will be there. Whenever a non-terminal has more production rules, all production rules must be combined in a single procedure only. For example, E implies E plus E / E into E / epsilon. ఈకి ఎన్ని ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్స్ వస్తాయి? మనకి 3 వస్తున్నాయండి. ఫస్ట్ వన్ ఈజ్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఈ ప్లస్ ఈ, సెకండ్ వన్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఈ ఇంటూ ఈ, థర్డ్ వన్ ఈ ఈజ్ ఈక్వల్ టు ఎప్సిలాన్. ఒక ఈకి నాన్ టెర్మినల్ ఈకి 3 ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్స్ ఆర్ దేర్. వెనెవర్ ద గివెన్ నాన్ టెర్మినల్ హ్యాస్ మోర్ దెన్ 1 ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్, ఆల్ మస్ట్ బి డిఫైన్డ్ ఇన్ ఏ సింగిల్ ప్రొసీజర్ ఓన్లీ. ఎన్ని ఆల్టర్నేటివ్స్ ఉన్నా సరే మొత్తాన్ని ఒకే ప్రొసీజర్ లో రాయాలి. క్లియర్? నెక్స్ట్, the parser should be activated by a procedure corresponding to start symbol. ఈ పార్సర్ కూడా ఎప్పుడు దేంతో స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది? బై ఏ కాల్ టు ద స్టార్ట్ సింబల్. స్టార్ట్ సింబల్ తోనే, స్టార్ట్ సింబల్ యొక్క ప్రొసీజర్ కాల్ చేయడంతో ఇది స్టార్ట్ అవ్వాలి. ఈ 4 స్టెప్స్ మీకు ఎగ్జాంపుల్ క్లీన్ చెప్తానండి. We will go back to example to understand this one. Then we will get more idea about this one when we see example. అందరి దగ్గర పెన్ను పేపర్ ఉందండి? All of you has pen and paper. ఆ 4 స్టెప్స్ క్లీనింగ్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ లో చూద్దాం, మనకి ఈజీగా అర్థమైందండి. All of you have pen and paper. What happened? ఆ థియరీ గురించి కంగారు పడొద్దండి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూస్తే మన థియరీ చాలా సింపుల్‌గా అర్థమైపోద్ది. వెరీ, వెరీ సింపుల్ వన్. See, he has given the grammar. ఈ గ్రామర్ ఇచ్చాడండి. నోట్ డౌన్ దిస్ గ్రామర్. E implies E plus T, E implies T, T implies TF, T implies F, F implies F star slash A slash B. This is the grammar given. Note down this grammar first. అందరి దగ్గర పెన్ను పేపర్ ఉందండి? గివ్ సమ్ రిప్లై ఉందా లేదా? నోట్ చేస్తున్నారండి ఈ గ్రామర్. E is equal to E plus T, E implies T, T is equal to T implies F of T. నోట్ చేస్తున్నారు కదండి. Whether it is the left recursive grammar or not, whether it is a left recursive grammar or not. Clearly it is a left recursive grammar. Because E implies E. మనకి లెఫ్ట్ రైట్ సేమ్ ఉందండి. T implies T, F implies F. 3 ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్స్ ఉన్నాయండి ఇక్కడ లెఫ్ట్ రికర్సివ్ లో. ఓకే, సో ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ ఈస్ if the given grammar is left recursive, eliminate that left recursive. లెఫ్ట్ రికర్సివ్ ఉంటే మనకు వర్కౌట్ అవ్వదు కాబట్టి we have to eliminate that. ఆల్రెడీ మనం చెప్తున్నాం టాప్ డౌన్ పార్సర్ నెవర్ యాక్సెప్ట్ ద లెఫ్ట్ రికర్సివ్. లెఫ్ట్ రికర్సివ్ ఉంటే టాప్ డౌన్ పార్సర్ ఇన్ఫినిట్ లూప్ లోకి వెళ్ళే అవకాశం ఉంది కాబట్టి టాప్ డౌన్ పార్సర్స్, whether it is back tracking or descendant parsers, we have to eliminate the left recursion. దీనికి లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్ ఫాస్ట్ గా రాస్తారండి. ఎలిమినేట్ లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్. ఆన్ ద పేపర్ రైట్ డౌన్ ద న్యూ గ్రామర్ ఎలిమినేటింగ్ ద లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్. ఆల్రెడీ మన దగ్గర మనకు తెలుసు హౌ టు ఎలిమినేట్ ద లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్. వి నో వెరీ వెల్. ఫాస్ట్ ఎలిమినేట్ దట్ లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్. ప్రొడక్షన్ రూల్స్ కి లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్ ఎలిమినేట్ చేయండి ఫాస్ట్ గా. ఈ రెండండి ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఈ రెండు కూడా ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఇది కూడా ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఇది ఒక ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఇది ఒక ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఇది థర్డ్ వన్ ఏ ఎంప్లాయిస్ ఏ ఆల్ఫా స్లాష్ బీటా. ఒక 2 ఐ ఆమ్ గివింగ్ యూ 1 minute ఫాస్ట్లీ కంప్లీట్ దట్ వన్. సో మీరు అది కంప్లీట్ చేస్తూ ఉన్నానండి. ఎలాగో మన టైం ఎండింగ్ వచ్చేసింది. ఐ విల్ సెండ్ యూ రీకనెక్ట్. కొత్త ఐడి పాస్వర్డ్ ఇస్తాను ఈ లోపల. అది కంప్లీట్ చేయండి. దెన్ వీ విల్ అగైన్ లాగిన్ ఫ్రెష్లీ విత్ ద సొల్యూషన్. Meanwhile, I will give you the new login ID and password. I will wind up this session. I will give you the new login ID and password. Clear? ఈ లోపల పేపర్ మీద ఒకసారి ఆ లెఫ్ట్ రికర్షన్ ని try to eliminate that left recursion on the pen and on the paper. Meanwhile, I will send you the new ID and password. వెంటనే కనెక్ట్ అవ్వండి. అందరు నోట్ చేసుకున్నారు కదండి గ్రామర్. ఈ లోపల I will eliminate, I will disconnect and give you the new ID and password. ఎలాగో ఇంకా 3 minutes టైం ఏముందండి. సో ఐఎమ్ డిస్కనెక్టింగ్ నౌ. మీరు ట్రై చేసే లోపు నేను డిస్కనెక్ట్ అయ్యి మళ్ళీ కనెక్ట్ అవుతాను. మీరు కూడా కొత్త ఐడి పాస్వర్డ్తో కనెక్ట్ అవ్వండి. ఓకేనా?